next level.
Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Coach Tiffany Parra with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating that mind, body, and spirit. We are taking center stage today on the Own It Publishing platform. We are taking center stage with one of our amazing contributing writers. Let me go ahead and bring her on in. Hey, Coach Jeanna Brown.
Hey!
How are you doing, honey? It's good to see you.
Oh my God, I'm doing fabulous. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, goodness. Thank you so much for being here. Please take a moment to introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and just a little bit about what you do.
My name is Jeanna Brown, Coach Jeanna. I live in Los Angeles, California. Coach Jeanna is a holistic wellness coach for men and women who are busy, overwhelmed, and want to take their health as a priority. Oh my gosh. And I've been at it for some time now, so you just might see me around on social media.
Yes. Well, welcome. So this woman right here is definitely a powerhouse. She wears a lot of different hats. Okay, so this woman is a woman of a lot of different hats. She is also an author and also a podcast host. So let's talk about that as well. So how many books do you have out?
I am the author of two books. Two
Oh.
books. My very first book I wrote called Look and Feel Fabulous Now. It's a self help fitness book, a coaster book. It actually has a coaster on the top of it. And it gives you the tips and tricks of how to stay healthy in practical, easy ways. And the other book is on Amazon called I Have Permission, Decide, and Move On. So it is also a self-help book to give you practical ways to talk yourself into doing things when you tell yourself that you can or you need to wait or you're waiting for the phone to ring, to just move through that and go ahead and decide and push through that.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Being an author is quite a lot. So let's talk about how you balance it all because you are a health and wellness coach, you are an author, you're a podcast host, and we're going to get into talking about your podcast in a minute as well. But how do you manage to juggle all that? I mean, because I'm sure there's some people out there that want to know because they're probably having a hard time just juggling like one thing, and you juggle just so many.
Yes, so time management, right? You have a calendar, you map things out, you help schedule things in. A lot of times it is just like pressure cooker, just like get a lot of stuff done in a short amount of time if you can like really maximize like that. For example, if it's a writing project, you do a writing schedule, you try to stick to it as much as possible. I'm usually like something intense. I usually like to do get a lot done in a short period of time, where people
Yeah.
usually like it to be leisurely and maybe take 12 months. And I'll probably want to take 3 to 1 month.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Okay.
and so the wellness and fitness, that's like a more regular thing for me. Coaching, finding, plugging it in, like kind of like plugging in where you have the availability and just like work with your skeleton calendar and availability and still have a happy, good, fulfilled life.
Yeah.
Just
Awesome.
it can be done. It can be done. It is time management though. It is time
Yeah.
management.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right about the schedule. Like, put it on the schedule so you can get it done. Don't just say you're going to get it done and not write it down on something. Actually write it down. Put it in your phone. We all have our phones. They all have calendars. Put it on there. Get yourself either a paper calendar or something and write it down. I mean, that's probably one of my biggest challenges a lot of times is trying to schedule a lot of stuff. So I definitely do thank you for that reminder on just continuing to keep that schedule.
Absolutely. And I usually, honestly, I have like 3 different schedule systems. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really kind of unusual too. I have like a map of the whole, I do 6 months at a time. First
Mm-hmm.
half of the year, second half of the year, where it's a visual on a wall, and I plug in things where I have to see it and just reminders like that. Then I have a daily one where I write down like to-dos for the day, every day, so I can see that and make sure I check those off. And then the phone one is sort of like another visual reminder. I don't really like the digital one as much because
Mm-hmm.
things get lost on there sometimes or misplaced. I don't know. I don't trust it as much. I like paper.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So, being an author and a podcast host, what inspired you to just kind of get into those spaces? Because those spaces are a little tough. I mean, both of them are really. I mean, being an author and creating, literary, art, as well as just putting yourself out there, right, as a podcast host, being that front person out there, it can be a little nerve wracking, things like that at times. So, what inspired you to just kind of step into that?
Yes. Thank you for that question. The inspiration came from when I was in college. I took a class called Gender and Rhetoric, and it was about women who were pioneering in communication, in journalism, and spreading the word about what's happening in their community through the newspaper. And some of the ladies that I remember in that class were names like Susan B. Anthony and Ida B. Wells and Mary Church Terrell and uh, Kathy Staten. Is that her first name? Anyway, they were like so meaningful. I was like in college, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an author because this is
Yeah.
like meaningful, like our voice matters. So that's when I really
Mm-hmm.
realized that our voice matters, as basic or simplistic as it may seem, it's impacting someone else.
Right.
And then it was just like, okay, well, if that's the case, then we should do this. And so my very first podcast, this is my second podcast cycle. I had a podcast for 5 years called Ladies Let's Talk with Coach Jeanna, and
Okay.
that was 5 years on Blog Talk Radio. I would
Wow.
interview entrepreneurs. Now I have Jeanna Brown podcast, Smart Wisdom. So we're talking about wise things that we have overcome, obstacles that we've overcome, nuggets that people have shared with us along the way that help us grow or impact our business or us personally, et cetera, et cetera. And
Yeah.
it's all about lifestyle, the podcasting lifestyle, like travel or authorship, entrepreneurship, creative, the arts, travel, actors, entertainers, stuff like that. So I love getting guests on that we can talk and share and just impact the audience, listening audience. To you never
Yeah.
know who you can help. And the
Right.
same with writing the first book, which was on wellness, Look
Mm-hmm.
and Feel Fabulous Now, tying into coaching. It's like, look and feel fabulous now, honey. Like, what are we doing? Right?
Yeah. Right.
When you feel good on the inside, you feel good on the outside. You keep working at both.
Right.
It makes a difference. So that's where kind of the inspiration came from.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we will be back with Coach Jeanna Brown. Okay. we are back. This is Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine. Coach Tiffany Parra here with Coach Jeanna Brown. This is Moments with Coach Jeanna. That was Upscale Online Business Solutions. And so we are going to go ahead and get on back into the spaces that you're in, Jeanna. I mean, so again, you're an author, you are a podcast host. So why do you feel that it's, so important, like such an important space for you to share your message?
It's really important to share the message because, everyone is either going through something, been through something, or is about to go into something, right? So you never know where your knowledge, education, motivation, guidance, whatever it is, however it is that I'm sharing through whatever medium it's through, whether it's through art or whether it's through a podcast, can help somebody else. We gain all this education, this knowledge. We have to like share it with other people so it
Right.
can impact them, so they can help them get through whatever they're going through. So I just love to help and share and inspire, whether it's different platforms, different ways. And I like to have fun too and
Yeah.
laugh. And it tends to be girlfriend time or whoever. It's not always women that I interview, but it's a bonding moment.
Yeah.
And giving them a platform, honestly, is one of the biggest things too. When I have a platform as a podcast, I'm giving
Yeah.
someone else an opportunity, and I really don't take that. I take that like seriously. That's important to me.
Yes, absolutely. And you're so right. I mean, sharing your story, your truth. I mean, there's someone else out there that needs to hear that and they need that message. They may be on the edge, right? And just hearing someone else say, you know, what they've gone through, it helps them to have that faith, to just be able to hold on a little bit longer. And I think that's just wonderful, that you're out there sharing, all these important messages from people as well.
In addition to that, sometimes people drop names that you're not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows them to go do some research on that person's life and get some more background, and that could be a nugget for them that they needed to carry them, pull them forward. So you just
Mm-hmm.
never know, and that's one of the reasons why I mention those women's names, because they were pivotal in their time, in their era. And although my platform is on YouTube, that's a great platform. And it's not on like network television, what have you. It
Mm-hmm.
still is a vehicle, a tool that can be educational, inspirational for, others to get some more info
Yeah.
from.
Love it, love it. So your show. So let's talk about what it's all about. I know you're bringing people on talking about stories, things like that. What type of guest do you tend to look for to be a guest on your show? If there's anybody out there that would like to, that would be interested.
Absolutely. So usually they are someone who's a creative or creator in the entertainment space,
Mm-hmm.
to learn their story, what they do. Maybe they're a coach, author, or speaker. They have a
Mm-hmm.
message or a story that they would like to share. Perhaps there's someone who likes to travel and can share some stories through their journey with different cultures. I really like different cultures and hearing um, similarities and differences, through different cultures, through travel and food. I'm not really a foodie, but I do appreciate different, differences in that way where we can have discoveries and like, did you know?
Yeah.
As you know, I'm like a pescatarian, so there's limited foods that I will eat or don't eat, et cetera, et cetera,
Mm-hmm.
et cetera. And then in addition to that, um, there's other podcast hosts, that they don't always get a chance to have to speak,
Yeah.
hear their story. So that's good. That's a good thing too.
Yeah.
And teachers are good too. Teachers, I like to hear. I have a real soft spot for people in the medical industry, teachers,
Mm-hmm.
educators. in their lifestyle, because along the way they had to use a smart, because it shows smart wisdom to
Mhm.
make smart decisions, smart choices, and stuff like that.
Right. Yes. Well, I absolutely love it. And anybody out there listening that is, that fits any of that criteria, definitely reach out to Coach Jeanna so you can be a guest on the show as well. So, Coach Jeanna, so what quality do you have that you feel has contributed the most in your success this far?
Quality. I'm curious. Yeah, that's a quality. I'm just curious. Like, how does this work? How do they connect? What does this work? Like, why do they do and make those, choices, or, connecting people, finding the similarities, and then,
Mhm.
you notice the differences, but like, there's always some sort of similarity that, is the through line, so to speak. People want to be healthy. People want financial stability.
Right.
People want, these journeys, family is important to us, different things like that. And so, how to achieve that or maintain it, or um, help someone else achieve. So, yes, I'm very curious.
I love that. Like, I'm curious as well. I'm always asking questions. I think they're like, I'm asking too many questions, right? But that's what made me a really, really good HR manager at that time because I always asked so many questions and always putting my nose in everything. So,
Yes, and being curious too, listening. I'm a good listener, so I may be a curious person through listening, not always speaking.
yeah,
And so that's a quality. If you know me. I don't always talk a lot. In big settings, I'll listen and
yeah.
observe, and then gather, data that away.
So, in the past, we've talked a lot about, you doing a lot of service in your community, things like that. You're all about the philanthropy. So, how did you start adding value into your community, as a philanthropist?
So I grew up in church,
Hmm.
and I went to a Christian school, second grade through college.
Hmm.
And so it was instilled in me. Like, it was always like, give back, give back, give
Hmm.
back, always give back, give. And one of my scholarships in college was philanthropic. Like, we had to do community service in order to maintain the scholarship through the Allen Page Foundation in St. Paul.
Okay.
So it's just kind of always been embedded in my lifestyle, like finding or attaching myself to some organization. Um, it's actually on my annual like goal list for the
Yeah.
year, like a vision board type thing, where I either put a donation amount that I will give for the year, or how many service projects I will participate in, two or three or
Mhm.
five or whatever in the
Yeah.
year. And so it's just like, yeah,
Yeah. I
part
love
of
that
my
big heart of yours. Love that big heart of yours, girl. Well,
thank
we are going to go ahead. We're going to cut to another quick commercial break, and then we are going to come back and talk to this busy woman about self care. So we will be right back. we are back. This is Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. That was Mufo Entertainment, Mufo TV. I just love, love, love that commercial because it just has you dancing in your seat every time it comes on. So that's why you're doing this.
How can you not start moving around? How can you not? It's like,
How can you not, right? So we are back with Coach Jeanna Brown. This is Moments with Coach Jeanna. And we are talking about, all the different things that she does. She is an author and a podcast. And today we are really focused on speaking about that, but also talking about just how she is able to manage it all because this woman has a lot of stuff on her plate. So let's talk a little bit about self care, Jeanna, because I think, especially as women, and as women of color, it's just we just don't know how to do that sometimes. We are just go, 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 go. So what does self-care look like for you? Because you are juggling a lot of stuff. And I'm sure there's probably another woman out there that is juggling and like about to, the balls are about to fall, right? One or two of them because she doesn't know how to balance, and it's because she's missing self-care. So let's talk about, what does your self-care look like? How do you
you
find that?
definitely have to pay attention to it. Self
Yeah.
care is really important. And I've told this story before, but I'm going to keep telling it until people get it, that you can actually take care of yourself and neglect yourself at the same time. And what does that mean? That means that you can be grinding out there and working and hustling for, you know, more money, which is basically what it's all about, or elevating or leveling up and just
Right.
grinding, grinding, grinding. And then, 8-hour days, there's no such thing. 10-hour days, 12-hour days, you just keep going and going and going. You do that for 5 days, then you do it a month, then you do it a year, and then maybe another year has gone by and you're
Right.
still doing it. And your intent is for it to be temporary. But all of a sudden it's like 3 years or 5 years. And now this is a habit. It's a terrible habit. And so you're taking care of yourself doing that, but you're also neglecting yourself because now you're starting to get burnt out at,
Right.
at the very same time. And I
Mm.
realized this during COVID, and I was like, child, this ain't fun. And I need a break. And
Right.
so that COVID just went ahead and swiped that carpet right under my feet, and I took a break. And then when you get some rest and some sleep, and you can just kind of take it down some notches, you're like,
Mhm. Mhm.
whoa, this feels amazing. And so we want to get in and stay in that amazing phase. So when
Mhm.
you listen to your body, you tell it says, okay, it's time to rest. So when it says that, you have to do it. It's
Yeah.
better if you can plan it ahead of time, where you have
Mhm.
your moments where you're like you're gonna rest. For me, like rejuvenating for me is working out for me is like actually relaxing. It just happens to
Mhm.
be a couple double benefits.
Yeah.
But I tend to like veg out and just watch Netflix. Like that like takes everything down. Like in the
Mhm.
evening we were talking about, I don't like to talk in the evening on the phone.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
done. So then I just need some relaxed time and do that. Going to the spa, getting, your nails done or massage, those are great. But looking forward to things is
Yeah.
really good. Like if you have
Mhm.
something on your calendar like 3 months from now, something
Wow.
anticipation good that you're gonna do, go travel or go to a maybe a Broadway play or something like that. Those are all things a part of taking care of yourself.
Right.
It
Right.
brings joy, it brings happiness, it brings kindness to yourself. And there's no guilt, no guilt.
Right.
People need you at that time. Tell them sorry. You'll be
Sometimes
available when you're done.
that's
And
right.
it's as simple as that.
It's your time.
if,
It's your
if you
time.
if you struggle with saying no, or they want to schedule something in your me time slot,
Mhm.
like I say, I am available afterwards.
Yeah.
Just be
Yeah.
okay with that. And with age, it happens. Like in my 20s, no way. I was Miss Yes for everything, and I remember I was almost hyperventilating because I kept saying yes and didn't know how I was gonna get it all done. And
Oh.
uh, and and people kept saying, "Oh, you can do it. Oh, I know you can. Oh, do more." And I kept saying yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. I didn't want to disappoint other people. But then I
Right.
realized I'm disappointing myself because my body is
Hmm.
like stressed out. That I was like, no, you can't do all this stuff. You have to say no. I didn't even know how to formulate it. What does that sound like? No. It's like, yes, I can do that. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, I'm available. Oh,
Oh
cut it
no.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
That's gonna
laughing.
lead you right
No.
to burnout. That's like burnout. And you don't even know when you're starting to burn out half the time. It just all of a sudden happens. And it happens if you don't catch it. I mean, again, you're going so fast, so you're not even listening to any of the signs that you might be getting, and your body's giving you cues left and right. But if you miss them and you keep missing them, then all of a sudden you get a big, nudge, and it's going to be that nudge that you really don't want to hear a lot of times.
The big
So,
nudge, the big nudge is not the nudge you want. There's a classmate of mine that on social media said she had a heart attack this year.
uh,
And she has four boys. I think she's almost an empty nester. And maybe one still in high school, but she had a heart attack. And she has a high achieving family. Let's put it like
hmm
that. The
hmm
son's an NFL, husband is a PhD, just a high achieving family. And she
yeah,
keeps it together, right? The
hmm
mom, right? And she was missing the signs, and I'm sure she just kept plowing through because she's just saying I can, and the body kind of tells you slow down, like no, like, but
yeah,
we just like keep going until it falls apart, and then you're like, oh. So
yeah,
you're warning everybody. We are telling you right now, we're
yeah.
warning you ahead of time. When the body says no, slow down, you can't do it, do it.
Just slow down. When your mind tells you, you know what? I mean, because it's telling you for a reason. It's that alarm saying, hey, you know what? We need to stop. We need to
I
stop.
had to say no this week, and I was just like, I'm sorry, sorry, I'm not gonna
Yep.
make it
Yep. And don't
because
feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it if you
you
can't make
just
it.
gotta rest. You just gotta rest. The body gotta rest. So that with me being and going, sometimes and you want, and I'm such a supporter. I love to
Yeah.
support people and be there for them, and you got to be there for you too. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Well, they say on the airplane, put your mask on first, and then you can help the other person. Right. It's absolutely true in all aspects of life. So most definitely. So, Coach Tina, do you have any words of wisdom, words of encouragement that you'd like to provide our audience today, as well as how they can connect with you if they would like to work with you? Again, if they'd like to be on your podcast, and if they'd like to purchase your books as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Again, thank you so much for having me. This is always a joy to be on the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics platform and Own It platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Words of wisdom, words of wisdom. So, a couple of little cliches. One is remember to smile because it is good for the soul. So, when you're
Right.
smiling, you're just like happy, right? There's a reason why I say this. I should tell you the tagline later. Uh, you can reach me. Where can you reach me? You can reach me at coachjeanna.com. And you can connect with me to request. I don't have a website for the podcast, but you can also email me at jeannabrownpodcast@gmail.com for information. And what was the other question you said? There was one more.
Let's say words of wisdom and encouragement, and how to connect with you, how to connect with. Oh, and also where to buy your books.
Yes. So the books are available. So one I did self-published. My Gina Look and Feel Fabulous Now is self-published. So I have a limited supply of those. That's my on the wellness side. Amazon.com. You can find Jeanna Brown Look and Feel Fab. I mean, I have permission to decide and move on is on Amazon. Now, about that, there's other people with my name spelling on Amazon, and those are not my books. I have one book on Amazon is a gold cover. No
Okay.
pictures, no nothing. The other author, so my other books that have come out, I'll have my middle initial in there so we can distinguish
Yeah.
who is who. I just gotta say, those ain't my books. Um, and another word of wisdom is encouragement is just, step out on faith. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's no failure, it's only learning. So go ahead, encourage yourself to do that and have a team and find people who can help you out.
Awesome. Yes, yes. I love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much, Coach Jeanna, for joining us. Thank you so much for being a part of the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics family. Everyone, if you have not subscribed yet, definitely get out there and subscribe. Go to Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Mag 2021.com and you can get your subscription. You can also, if you are a business that wants to be featured, we are always looking for businesses to highlight. You can get your featured page or become a contributing writer. If you've got a lot to say about health and wellness and how to get people physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially fit, we want to hear from you and we want to get you on the team. So definitely reach out and we'd love to hear from you. So everyone, thank you so much. We love you, love you, love you, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Yeah, love you.
Take it to the next level.